What's up, Commanders fans? You already know the mission. This team is working relentlessly to get better each and every day. From bold free agent signings to high-stakes draft prep, it's clear. Washington isn't playing around anymore. Tjoti, Quinn, Adam Peters, and the entire front office are going all in on building a Super Bowl caliber squad. And now, there's a new blockbuster rumor heating up that could seriously tilt the NFC in our favor. Before we break it all down, go ahead and smash that like button to show some love for the grind we're on here at Commanders HQ. We're bringing you daily insights, updates, and exclusive analysis to keep you ahead of the curve. So hit like, and if you're new here, subscribe and join the movement. Okay, let's get into it. According to Bleacher Report's Alex K., there's a potential trade proposal on the table that could send New York Jets running back Breece Hall to the Washington Commanders. That's right. Breece Hall, one of the NFL's most explosive young runners, could be suiting up in burgundy and gold this season. Here's the proposed deal. Washington sends wide receiver Luke McCaffrey and a fourth-round pick in this year's NFL draft to New York in exchange for Hall. At first glance, this might feel like a steep price to pay for a running back, but when you look deeper, the value becomes clear. Breece Hall isn't just any back. He's a legit game changer with breakaway speed, vision, and the kind of versatility that can open up our entire offense. This could be a missing piece for a unit that already ranked 7th in total offense last year. Washington is rolling into the 2025 season with Brian Robinson Jr. as the starter. And let's be clear, Rob had a solid year. He runs hard, he's reliable, and he's beloved by the fan base. But behind him, we've got Austin Eckler, who's on the wrong side of 30, and Jeremy McNichols, a journeyman depth piece. If Washington wants to go toe-to-toe with Philly and make another deep playoff run, they need more juice in that backfield. Breece Hall gives them exactly that. This is a guy who can take it to the house on any touch. He's also a natural receiver out of the backfield, which is huge in Cliff Kingsbury's system. Remember, Jayden Daniels led the team in rushing yards last year. As exciting as that is, you don't want your rookie quarterback leading your team on the ground every season. Hall could take that pressure off Daniels, allowing him to stay fresh and healthy over the course of a 17-game grind. Let's flip it. What's Washington giving up? Luke McCaffrey, a third-round pick last year, showed flashes but ultimately underwhelmed. Just 18 catches for 168 yards and no touchdowns over 17 games. Yes, there's still potential there. He's athletic, he's smart, and obviously comes from a football family. But if we're being real, he's not in the top 4 receivers on this team right now. With Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, Deebo Samuel, and Jamison Crowder all in the mix, McCaffrey's chances at breakout volume were slim anyway. Then there's the 4th rounder. And sure, mid-round picks can turn into solid contributors, but let's be honest, the Commanders are in a win-now window. Jayden Daniels is still on his rookie contract. That's the golden time to build aggressively. Trading a 4th and a depth receiver for a proven back like Breece Hall, that's a risk worth taking. Let's dive deeper into the type of player Washington would be getting. Hall exploded onto the NFL scene with the Jets before injuries briefly slowed him down. He's bounced back strong, and his 2024 numbers were impressive considering the Jets' offensive struggles. Hall put up over 200 yards from scrimmage and 9 total touchdowns last season, despite playing behind one of the league's worst offensive lines, and in a quarterback situation that was, let's say, less than ideal. Put him behind Washington's revamped O-line, with Daniels keeping defenses honest with his legs, and you've got a nightmare backfield to defend. Hall and Robinson together would give Washington one of the most dynamic 1-2 punches in the NFL. Robinson is your punishing between the tackles bruiser. Hall is your slasher, your home run hitter, your matchup nightmare in space. That kind of balance could turn an already potent defense into a true juggernaut. Now, zooming out, this potential trade signals something bigger. This isn't the same old Commanders franchise. Under Dan Quinn and GM Adam Peters, we're seeing bold, calculated moves that signal one thing. This team expects to win. They're not just building for the future, they're attacking the present. This offseason already brought Deebo Samuel and Laramie Tunsil to town. The defense is being rebuilt around stars like Darren Payne and potentially a new edge rusher in the draft. Every move is about surrounding Jaden Daniels with as much talent as possible while this window is open. Trading for Breece Hall would continue that aggressive philosophy, and honestly, it fits the moment. Quick side note before we wrap. Washington also signed veteran quarterback Josh Johnson to a one-year deal. Now, for those of you who remember, 2018, Johnson gave us a few gritty performances when our QB room was decimated by injuries. He's been everywhere since then, literally. The dude is one of the most traveled quarterbacks in NFL history. But now he's back in DC, and this time, he's expected to provide leadership and depth behind Daniels and Marcus Mariota. It's a low-risk, high-reward signing that adds experience to the QB room. And hey, if anything happens, Johnson's been there before. While everyone's been talking about the flashy player acquisitions, Jaden Daniels, Deebo Samuel, the return of Josh Johnson, potential trades for Breece Hall, there's one off-season move that flew a bit under the radar. But trust me, folks, this one might just be the most impactful of all. I'm talking about Wes Welker. That's right. The former All-Pro wide receiver and offensive mastermind is now officially part of the Washington Commanders organization as a personnel analyst. And let me tell you, that's a big deal. Now, what does a personnel analyst actually do? Well, it means Welker will be working closely with both the coaching staff and the player evaluation team, helping to identify, develop, and maximize talent. But let's not sugarcoat it. His primary focus, the real mission here, is Deebo Samuel. And yes, there's history there. The Deebo-Welker connection. Built for redemption. Let's take it back. Wes Welker was instrumental in Deebo Samuel's breakout years in San Francisco. When Welker was the 49ers wide receivers coach, he worked side by side with Deebo to develop his skills, instill discipline, and bring out the physical, versatile, game-breaking receiver we all saw in those first 3 years. Now, fast forward to the present. The Commanders acquired Samuel for what was, let's be honest, a steal. Just a 5th-round pick. But that price tag came with a few question marks. Deebo's coming off a down year. He looked a bit checked out in San Francisco. His weight was an issue heading into training camp, something we also saw back in college at South Carolina. But here's where it gets exciting. Welker is back in the building, and nobody gets more out of Deebo than Wes. NBC Sports' Jennifer Lee Chan dropped some serious insight recently on JP Finley's All Ears podcast. She talked about the exact dynamic between Welker and Samuel, and why this reunion could be the spark that reignites Deebo's career. Chan said, and I quote, "Wes Welker absolutely got the best out of him. Deebo Samuel is a guy who isn't always super consistent, but Wes Welker is professional. The reason why Deebo Samuel had those 3 great first seasons is because Welker was on him about being a pro and how to show up to work every day." Let that sink in. We're talking about a proven relationship, one built on respect, accountability, and results. Welker isn't coming in cold. He played college ball with Cliff Kingsbury at Texas Tech, who's now our OC. He worked alongside Adam Peters in San Francisco. These aren't just familiar faces. They're allies, and that's crucial in creating a consistent locker room culture. So why is all this so important for the Commanders right now? Because we're not just building a team, we're building a contender, and contenders are made in the margins. Draft picks are great, trades are exciting, but culture, accountability, consistency, that's what wins championships, and that's exactly what Welker brings to the table. Deebo Samuel, when locked in, is one of the most dynamic weapons in the NFL. A wide receiver who can line up in the backfield, bulldoze linebackers, and outrun safeties. But to get that version of Deebo, you need the right voice in his ear. Someone he trusts, someone he respects, someone who's not afraid to say, "Get your mind right, let's go." That's Wes Welker, and Welker's impact isn't limited to just Deebo. He's expected to have a massive hand in developing Luke McCaffrey, the young receiver with solid upside, but an underwhelming rookie campaign. Imagine what a guy like Welker, one of the most intelligent slot receivers of all time, can teach a developing wideout like McCaffrey. And it doesn't stop there. Welker will be part of evaluating talent across the board, helping build this team from the inside out. From technique to mindset to film study, he's already earned respect across the league as one of the smartest football minds in the building. So here's the bottom line. This isn't just about Deebo Samuel bouncing back. This is about elevating the entire standard inside the Commanders' wide receiver room, and maybe even the whole offense. You've got Jaden Daniels coming off a Rookie of the Year campaign. You've got weapons like Terry McLaurin, Jahan Dotson, and potentially Breece Hall if that trade goes through. And now you've got a staff behind the scenes, led by Welker, that is absolutely dialed in on one goal: sustained excellence. Every detail matters now, and the hiring of Wes Welker might just prove to be the silent X factor that turns this team from playoff surprise into Super Bowl contender. So now, I'm throwing it to you, Commanders Nation. What do you think of the potential Breece Hall trade? Would you pull the trigger if it meant giving up Luke McCaffrey and a 4th rounder? Would Hall elevate this offense to a true Super Bowl contender? Or would you rather keep the draft capital and trust what we've already got? Let me know in the comments. I'll be reading every take. And if you made it this far into the video, drop an emoji in the chat so I know you're riding with us until the end. As always, don't forget to hit that like button if you enjoyed this breakdown, and subscribe to stay locked in with everything Commanders. From trades to draft rumors to exclusive behind-the-scenes info, Commanders HQ has you covered all season long. Until next time, HTTC, and let's keep building something special in the capital.